freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Yeah, we're back in the saddle again here on Declare Your Independence. Yeah, we're going to be getting out of this saddle, certainly in this format, for a little while. We'll probably be taking next week off. I'm still trying to get hold of Mark Edge. I know he's doing triple duty while he's got Ian Freeman in jail. He's sitting in jail. But I was hearing from Nick. He's saying that he's still, every now and then, he gets to come on for a little bit each week. And, it's good to know that, he's still getting to have his voice, man. I'm definitely, I'll do a special podcast, just so I get to talk to Ian on the show so that we can share that with everyone, his perspective after doing time with the man. So we'll go ahead and talk about that. We got to do a special show with Adam Kokesh. I think what is going to come out of this is he's going to continue doing Adam versus the Man, create his own studio out of New York City, Brooklyn there somewhere. He's kind of working this out. He got his stipend and all setting up from the separation with RT, and he's going to be able to do as good or better on his own terms the way he wants on the news every day. So I'm looking forward to that. So we're going to be setting up by next Thursday. Nick Barnett is going to be, or whatever name he goes by. Sorry, Nick. he's going to be here Thursday, setting up a bunch of different shows and what they're going to do, because we want to feature everybody. And that's really what the site was set up, and the radio studio and everything was not so much for me. I did my bit. If you listen to the show for a while, it's like, okay, I get it. I heard that before. The only thing that we do is we have a lot of different guests that we kind of spike them. I'll have some, big-time guests. I mean, we've been live from Yemen, live from Saudi Arabia. We're in Afghanistan, Iraq, Egypt, Yemen. I mean, it's just, we have them on the radio and give them what for. And we have all of the progressives out there and a lot of big names that we're just making sure that they know our opinion. So that's really the big motivation behind doing it, because I know a lot of you guys know, and of course it's good, I guess, education to see how you can go up against the most commie, socialist, progressive, whatever, and have a pleasant conversation with them and make your point. You don't have to convince them. You just have to make sure they understand why you're so convinced. You can do that, you win. Government will cattle drive them with cattle prods and tasers. They're interchangeable, and glow sticks or whatever, and get them coming your way anyway. So if you know that's going to happen, just wait and let it happen. Just let them know where the light is. Hey, Lady Liberty's torch is over here. And when it goes out, boom! Freedom's Phoenix, the rebirth of freedom from Lady Liberty's torch. That is what that here we go. That logo means right there. Lady Liberty's torch, rebirth of freedom, boom. So with this idea in mind, and we started doing the digital magazine, it's what kind of artwork are we going to have? And whatever I have, it's building up to a lot of things. It's almost like a graphic novel. So who does graphic novels? Scott Beazer. Scott Beazer does he could do album covers. They don't have album covers anymore. But he does book covers, novel covers and stuff for L. Neil Smith. L. Neil Smith has got an article in this edition of the e-zine too. And then I just got communication from Larkin Rose. He didn't think he was going to be able to make the deadline. No, he didn't, but we're going to hold off for a little bit, make sure we get our Larkin Rose piece in today also. Sierra's like, oh, my last day. I knew you'd do this to me. So, and Chuck Baldwin could if we had to go, no, we can't. No, Sierra will hit me. So, and today's my oldest daughter's birthday, Rhea Nicole. Hello. Happy birthday, baby. Now, I wanted to go ahead and go through the covers. Now, let me go ahead and do this. For those on YouTube, you can see this. This was the first cover, and it was inspired to kind of, a silhouette, sun, thing that I'd seen before, and it just gave me this idea to do this, cutting through the barbed wire. And for those of you that are able to go look at the, which segment would this be? This would be the second in the second hour, so segment 6 on YouTube for today, which is September 2nd, my daughter's birthday, 2011. And you see the covers. Now, you go to freedomsphoenix.com, and you'll see the magazine promotional ad. It's kind of a rust color on the top right of freedomsphoenix.com. You click on that, and you'll see all the album covers or the e-zine covers, the magazine cover. Now, this was, I love this cover. We spent a lot of time on just, the girl, how big, how tiny is her waist? How large are her breasts? Well, how wide are her hips? It was just a big, giant debate. And I'll tell you a story. We had, the breast size was set at a certain, it's in silhouette, but we had the breast size set. And then Scott Beazer kind of did another version. He increased it a little bit. And then Megan from Silver Circle goes, "Hey, man, seriously?" And I looked at it and I go, "Hey, that's not the one that we had before." I go, "Scott, man, you got to tone that down just a little bit." He goes, "Dad, I thought nobody'd notice." Well, the women did. So I'm going, okay. So this is where we wanted to go with it. And it is a, freeing, which side of the barbed wire is she on? Is she on the inside breaking out? Or is she breaking out people on the end or people out? It's a very good cover. First edition, you need to go see it. Second edition, we did homage to the activist. The first edition was about libertarian philosophy, and we had 85 pages just chock full of stuff. It was the big boys. Everybody wrote for that one. And we had over 30 authors, and it was just amazing the positions that we took. It's a hardcore anarchist. Even Dr. Paul was in there, and of course he was advocating, talking about the budget, but it was a hardcore, got a dose of what our philosophy is. Then we have the next edition for July is the 4th of July edition, and it's Thomas Jefferson dancing with our heroine at the Jefferson Memorial. So that was in reference to Adam Kokesh's event at the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. Thought that was cool, and that came out really nice. Scott Beazer's got so much talent. Then the third edition, first one was philosophy. Second one was activism, the implementation of that philosophy. The third one is just surviving. And we have it's in the future a little bit. It's our heroine is out there in the sunset plowing the field. Now, the machine that she's using, you'll see that we featured, is from Open Source Ecology, is a group in Missouri that is using open source mentality, not just for software and ideas, but for hardware, having interchangeable modules and parts, it's like WordPress for farm equipment. So that's what they're working on. So we gave reference to them. I thought that was kind of cool. Then this month. Now, this is Raising Generation Next, and I really like this cover. And again, Scott did a great job, and this is the low-res version of it. But it shows you that we have it. Imagine San Francisco and the Bay. Instead of the Golden Gate Bridge, you have a bridge. Now, I got this idea from Paulo Soleri. He's an architect, that anytime you have a big public structure like this, you might as well make, some kind of living quarters or dual function or use of. So if you got this big, giant monster bridge thing, well, heck, you got all this traffic, you might as well just make it a horizontal high-rise, have, all kinds of stuff. So what we did is we have heavier than air dirigibles, blimps. This is, in reference to a lot of the novels of L. Neil Smith. He always saw the future was going to be to where you traveled this way. So we have it as a docking station for dirigibles. You have, in reference to the seasteading, you have ships that are out in floating cities that you have all kinds of, and we have spaceships being launched, just like spaceship, and then the children and our heroine are on the ridge in silhouette overlooking all this with their tablets of education, Raising Generation Next.